So welcome to another episode of Soundtrack of Our Lives. I'm here today with Alison Mead, who is the FD at Silicon Bullet, which sounds really cool, by the way. And you guys are an IT support services business in Northampton.
We are, yes. So Silicon Bullet, we have one of our friends from uni to thank for that name. They basically went out on the beers when we first set it up, and they came up with the idea of us being the silicon chips for IT,
yeah,
and the silver bullet being the solution, and then it was a silicon bullet. But
it's actually a pretty good idea, actually, when you break it down.
Yeah, but we have to say you spell silicon slightly differently, and people think we do breast implants, or they think we might do little motorised, little bullet-shaped things as well. So sometimes people Google us and find us that this isn't really what they want. But it's a good talking point.
But it is a good talking point. So occasionally you might get the odd strange request. But generally,
but people remember us and they remember the name, so it works quite well.
And you've never thought to niche out into different areas, no? Just stick with what you know.
Not quite.
No, that's best avoided, I think. Right, we're going to jump straight in then, Alison, to your first choice. And you're the first person I've had on any of these so far, and I think you're going to be episode 12. But 4 of your 5 songs I'd never even heard of.
I should have tried better and made it a 5 out of 5.
If you'd have gone full 5 set, it will happen, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I'm a big music fan, which is obviously why I'm doing this. And I've had a couple of people where there's 1 or sometimes 2 songs I'm not sure of. Or one person where I didn't know the artist or the song at all. But yeah, you've sent me 5 songs, and 4 of them I've had to have a look up at my lunch break today. Had a listen to them because I've never heard of them. They're really cool songs, actually. But yeah, I just wanted to share that you almost completely flummoxed me with what you were choosing.
Excellent.
But, so nearly there. But yeah, your first song is Carter, Unstoppable Sex Machine, from 1990, and Sheriff Fatman.
Sheriff Fatman. Yeah. So I went off to uni at Aston Uni in Birmingham, not knowing what I wanted to do, what I wanted to be, or anything else like that. But met a guy there. There was a girls' flat and a boys' flat where we were all mates together. This lad in the boys' flat, he used to DJ at the little university residences in Handsworth Wood, and he used to like it at the start of the evening. He would put Sheriff Fatman on because that was one of his favourites, and just dance around on the dance floor on his own. And I quite like this guy. Got to know him, got introduced to him.
He's got some bottle, he's out there, he doesn't care, he's out there dancing,
He did used to put on songs that he hated for us as well, which I thought was quite good. Things popular at the time was things like the Shoop Shoop song, and Baby Baby was yours, used to follow that with. But I just remember Sheriff Fatman, that I just associated that song with him. We got to know each other. I decided he was the one for me. Took me nigh on a year to persuade him to like me in reverse. But this was 35 years ago that we met, and it's our 30th wedding anniversary this year.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. So
it was our song. We just used to love it. We can just sing along to it. That you don't want to listen to the lyrics really, but it's just. And we've seen Carter. One of our first dates, I think, was to go and see them at the Hummingbird.
Yeah.
And we've seen them since. In fact, we turned up to a Wonderstuff concert last year, and we're thinking this singer seems a bit familiar, and it was the guy from Carter, and he did that song as part of the support act as well.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah.
Which was a really nice surprise.
But added bonus for a gig, yeah.
Yeah, but we wanted Sheriff Fatman as kind of our first dance at our wedding, which was a marquee in the back garden with the lad next door being the DJ, and we just thought the family wouldn't cope with the lyrics or anything else like that, so we had to think again.
You went for something else. I don't know, I think that's a shame, isn't it? That sometimes people feel like compelled to do things like this.
Yeah.
When actually, really, that was you. What's your husband's name?
Paul.
That's you and Paul's song, isn't it? And really,
it is.
It shouldn't have mattered what anyone else thought. But I mean, it's easy to say in hindsight, isn't it? But
it is. And 30 years ago, Mum and Dad were paying for it all.
Yeah.
So if they announced the first song and we got on, if you go and listen to it, I started dancing to that one and started singing all about drugs.
Yeah.
I don't think
They might have asked for their money back, mightn't they? So it could have ended up costing you.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe sometimes family politics are at play, aren't they? But yeah, it is a pretty cool song. I went and had a listen. Like I always say to everyone, I'll put your details about your business or your socials on the video, and I'll also share a link to all the songs. So if like I did, you haven't heard of them, go and have a listen after the episode. Don't go now.
Yeah.
We haven't finished. But once we've finished, click on the links, go and have a listen.
Go and have a listen to Sheriff Fatman.
It's a very unique song. Yeah, I liked it.
It is.
And then your second choice was the song that was the safe choice, I suppose.
It was the safe choice. It was still a song that meant something to us.
Yeah.
So Extreme, More Than Words, and that's a song that I've always loved. It's just beautiful. And I think one of my other friends who got married shortly after had the same dance at the start of her wedding as well, for her wedding dance as well. But I just absolutely love that song. And then fast forward quite a few years, my kids at school, they were having a talent contest and I decided to enter. So we had fixed the computer of this really musical guy called Craig McLeish. So he offered to accompany me on guitar and we duetted and did Extreme More Than Words and sang it together for that. That is on YouTube too. Slightly embarrassing because I didn't really know how to perform, so I'm just sort of standing with my hands in my pocket singing the song in the school playground, but it is still on my YouTube.
It's still there.
It's still there.
If you send me that link, I'll add that into your thing because I'm sure people would love to see that.
But we beat everybody. We beat my daughter's brownie troupe. We beat my son. We got the. I've still got the little award that we got the best group performance.
Absolutely. So you nailed it.
Hartwell's Got Talent in Northamptonshire.
I mean, this is the big time, isn't it? It's, you know you've peaked when you've got that on your mantelpiece. It's a real achievement.
Big star. It's just the fact that I beat all my kids' friends as well, and you know.
You've just won, haven't you, at that point?
Perfect. So I love it.
Yeah, but it is a beautiful song, obviously More Than Words, but the words in it, and if you actually listen to the lyrics, very, very meaningful, very good song.
Yeah. And I just remember when we were first dating that, you know, listening to that song together. Yeah. So it had a lot of meaning for us as well.
Very good. And your third choice, and this is one that I had to clarify with you because I'm not much of an opera or a theatre person. I've heard of Gilbert and Sullivan, obviously. This is
not Gilbert O'Sullivan like some people think it is.
No,
You've got to go Gilbert and Sullivan.
Yeah, he was not an Irish guy. It's a duo. Yeah, and this is it's called Brightly Dawns Our
Brightly Dawns Our Wedding Day.
Dawns Our Wedding Day.
Yes.
From an opera called The Mikado.
That's it. So when I was born, I'm the youngest of 5 kids. My mum decided she needed a hobby and she needed to get out a bit more, and she joined a choir who used to sing Gilbert and Sullivan. That's what they used to do. Yeah. So I used to go along to the concerts from a very young age, and I just remember with this one, it's a lovely little quartet, all about the characters in the Mikado getting married, and my mum sang the soprano part and my dad sang the bass part. So it's just to see the two of them. We lost my dad about 10 years ago now, so it just brings such happy memories of seeing them. But I'm keeping that going as well in the spirit of performance. So I'm in Northampton Gilbert and Sullivan group, and we're performing the Mikado in 30th of April to the 4th of May in Northampton. Oh, cool. So I'll have to send you the link to the ticket site for that as well.
Yeah, please do, because people can come along, can't they?
Yeah, exactly, and I'm in the chorus for that, not getting to sing that particular song, but it will still always give me a warm glow whenever I hear it.
It's a special memory, that, isn't it? And
it is.
You've won talent shows. You're doing opera performances. You are a bit of a performer then
I am known
on the down low. Yeah.
Well, on the networking circuit, I'm known as the singing stage lady.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So when you do your 30 seconds, your 60 seconds, or whatever it is, wherever you are, I tend to sing my pitch. So, I can give you a little snippet if we have time.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, there's definitely time.
So it's, do you need a stage lady fair? Payroll sage and zero save you time. Remember Ali from Silicon Bullet, then you'll be a client of mine.
Oh, very good, yeah.
So the singing just comes into everything.
Pitch, yeah?
Yeah.
Which is going to immediately stand out because I've never ever met anyone who stood up at a networking event and sung their pitch. So
we just haven't been at the same events then.
No, we haven't, have we? Somehow. I don't know how, because we're not that far away in the country, are we? But
no, I used to come up and network here a lot pre-lockdown, but now I've kind of become a bit of a recluse and I kind of stay close to home.
Yeah.
But I used to come up to Warwickshire, to Coventry, when 4N had a lot of local meetings, and I used to run the region a bit south of here.
Yeah.
So I used to do a lot of networking with them.
Because I do know the 4N meetings. We were always on an evening when I had my kids. Which is why I could never make it.
You used to go to Warwick on a Wednesday night. I know
Todd very well. And that was it. Warwick on a Wednesday at Audley Binswood. Is that right? Yeah. So I knew they were going on, but they were just always an impossible.
I didn't get to that one very often because we ran one in Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
And we used to do, I think, a Thursday night in Milton Keynes. But quite often some of them would come down to us, or a bunch of us would go up there to their meeting. So I know a lot of the people networking around here.
Yeah. It's a decent group around here, isn't it? A decent set of people.
Yeah.
All right, we're okay here for time, so we're going to just go straight into the fourth choice, which is the Wonderstuff.
The Wonderstuff, yeah. So again, another band that we started watching when we were students in Birmingham, and they were really big in very late 80s, early 90s. And I was looking through the music list, and I thought, rather than pick the ones that everybody's heard of, because I know when we go and see them live, Miles Hunt, the lead singer, doesn't really like, so they'll always know The Size of the Cow, or you'll know Dizzy, which he did with Vic Reeves. So I've chosen It's Your Money, I'm After Baby, just because it's one that's really great to sing along to, top of your voice, one of the really popular ones when we go to the gigs, and it ties in with what I do and bookkeeping and accounts, and
it's right in your wheelhouse, isn't it?
Exactly. I teach people how to keep an eye on their money and keep tracks of it and all of that, so it just
it's a good fit, definitely.
For sure.
And it is, like you say, there's a couple of songs I was saying on another episode. Generally, most people, if you name an artist or a band, they have one song that comes to mind, don't they? For me, Wonderstuff, it was always Dizzy. I know the bigger hit was Size of a Cow, but I just always think of Dizzy, and Vic Reeves. I used to love Vic and Bob's crazy TV show and was a big fan of theirs, so that always springs to mind. We had a Prince track earlier, and Purple Rain is what I think of when I hear Prince.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
I go Raspberry Beret.
Raspberry Beret, yeah. I mean, it could be Little Red Corvette.
Yeah.
Such good songs. But there's always just one that seems to be at the forefront, isn't there?
Yeah.
But it's nice when people pick a band and pick a song that actually isn't one that they're particularly well known for. Yeah,
well, you have to go a little way down on the Spotify playlist to find that one. Because, again, if you pick a band and you go on Spotify, you just always will get those top ones every time, and you just want to just go a little deeper, dig a little deeper and go a bit further down to see the good tracks.
Well, that's what I'm hoping, and I was saying before that what I'm hoping is when people are watching these episodes, and once they finish the episodes, they're going to go and click on the links and just sort of expand their musical repertoire a little bit and listen to stuff they've not heard before. It'd be pretty cool.
Well, I say as well, when you want to listen to music on Spotify or something like that, it's overwhelming, the choices that you've got, because you've got to kind of think of what you like and search for something, whereas before I would have my CD collection or my album collection or singles in the past, and you would browse through and think, what shall I listen to today, and you'd be able to look through everything and then pick, I've not heard that for a while, and pick that one out. And I used to collect, but now that's what I call musics. So I think the first one was in '83 when I was 12 and I was given it for Christmas. I kept going to 100.
Well, that's some.
And then I stopped. But that was always a surefire Christmas present every year for me. And some are better than others, and there was always some tracks, but that was just nice that you would listen and maybe listen to things you wouldn't otherwise listen to. I found now music's all streaming online. Very different how you choose what music you're listening to. So I like to take my cues and my things as something that I've heard or listened to or seen someone say they liked, and then just go and listen to something completely new. So I've got a lot of country music on my list now because I've started line dancing.
Okay.
I go to these honky tonk events in Milton Keynes that they run every month. The people that run my line dancing class run these events, and it's just, they have live music there, they have different people, they do a bit of line dance tuition, and it's just, if anyone's interested in country music,
get along.
It's nothing I'd ever known before, but I realised when I'm listening to the country music, it's very similar to the Wonderstuff and to the band I've chosen as my last choice, because it's that all that kind of it is very similar music to those. So not surprising I like it. I just never thought to put it on before.
Yeah, it's I suppose it's funny what you sort of find yourself stumbling into, isn't it? That you think actually this is quite similar genre. And I've started to listen to a couple of country tracks, and actually I quite enjoy this. And,
a bit of acoustic guitar with a bit of our violin going, and listening to it's all in the words and in the stories. But yeah, it all works quite well.
It does. Well, so your last group, this group, I've never even heard of these. As you point out, I suppose they're not a massively well-known.
They aren't.
Group.
So we went and saw Miles Hunt playing an acoustic set probably about 15, 20 years ago now in Milton Keynes. And they had this support band that we'd never heard of called Tankus the Henge. I think it was our kids were early teenage years, and the four of us had gone together, and we were just absolutely blown away by them. Just the presence on stage of the lead singer, Jazz DeLorean, that we then basically started, my husband and I fanboy and fangirling them, and just basically following them around to wherever they went. So I must have seen them about 30 times now, if not more.
Wow.
And I'm really annoyed that they're touring this year in April and they're coming to Milton Keynes and I'm on blooming holiday. So I can't go. It's like they just seem to be at all the places near the Midlands. It's just that 1 week in April when I'm away. But we go and see Jazz DeLorean does solo acoustic sets as well, and so we will always try and get to them wherever they are. So the song I've chosen, and now it's gone out of my brain now, remind me, what did I say?
It's called You Can Do Anything.
That's right, You Can Do Anything. So another one, a bit like the Wonderstuff one I chose, that when you go to the gigs, everyone is just singing along to the top of their voices. And real positive thoughts, you can do anything, you can do anything. Don't listen to the line afterwards, because the line afterwards is if you want to be with me but rather not be seen with me, which kind of takes it a little bit negative. But Tankus they do original music, they do great things that you can sing along to. It has got a bit of a, like, you can tell with a name like Jazz DeLorean, he's very influenced by jazz music and all of that, but there's always trumpet, trombone as well on the stage, saxophone as well, and it's just real feel good, upbeat, happy music.
Yeah.
So thoroughly recommend you check out Tankus the Henge as well.
Yeah, I had a listen earlier, and I just wrote under here. It's got quite a big band jazz feel to it.
Yes.
It was a live performance of that song.
Yes.
And I thought it was fantastic. I'd very much recommend have a listen on the link. And
when we first started listening to them years ago, if you went and listened to them on YouTube or on Spotify, it just didn't sound that good, because I just think they didn't have the money to have huge production values of what they were producing.
Yeah.
But they tour a lot in France and in Germany, as well as mostly around the south of the UK. And they've definitely improved the quality of what you're hearing online now, because this sort of thing I say, if you don't quite like them when you listen to them, go and see them live, because jazz has got such a huge presence on stage.
Great entertainer and
brilliant. You just get sucked into it. I think when before that, my favourite person to see on stage was Michael Hutchins in Excess. It's like they just saw him at the NEC, and it was just, you were just absolutely blown away by his presence and by his stage presence and everything else.
Yeah, what a talent though. Incredible.
For sure. And so just on a slightly smaller scale, I'd say jazz gives me the same goosebumps and feelings when you're listening to him.
Very high recommendation indeed. So get a ticket book, people, if you're listening.
Exactly. They're down around Milton Keynes and Oxford in April time, so
excellent.
Have a look out for them.
Okay, right, well, that's it. That's your 5.
Brilliant.
I think it's a fantastic selection. I just love the fact that I didn't know any of them, and one of them I've never even heard of. That was really cool. That's the first time that's happened as well. So I shall enjoy listening to them again and follow them and see what they do. Thank you for coming in at short notice as well. It must be said that you've stepped in to help me out because somebody was snowed in.
And then as I was driving up here, you're then thinking, like others have said, it's like, why is there no Beatles in there, because I'm from Liverpool, and Pet Shop Boys and Erasure, they're huge favourites as well, and they've managed to miss the mark. But if I'd have chosen those, you wouldn't have had 4 that you'd never heard
Exactly.
of.
I know those bands quite well, so yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Get people listening to some different things.
Yeah, open your horizons a little bit, people. That's what we're trying to say.
Exactly.
All right, thank you very much.
That's all right.
Cheers. Take care.